Hi there, crafty peeps. Enis here from Papercrafting with Enis, and I'm on today with a couple more project shares for the Happy Crafter Shop. You can see here that I'm featuring some of the beads and some of the beadable dangles, but before I get into that, I wanted to point out that the dangle display card is back in stock in Lisa's shop, and if you didn't pick yours up and you're interested in getting one, be sure to hop over there and get it before it's sold out again. And I did want to just show you once again, there's her website and her social media information and my coupon code. So if you do decide to shop, be sure to use my discount code to save yourself some money. So yeah, and before I show you the projects, I also wanted to point something else out about the die set in case you didn't already know. So you see this base piece here has this tab that sticks up, and that is the tab that you would fold over to attach your dangle to. And it also comes with this little piece here, which I originally thought was to cut out hole enforcers for this right here, but it's actually not. This is for hanging your dangle on the display card in a different fashion, and I did do one of my samples today using that. So what you would do is when you're cutting out this base piece, you can lay your paper so that it's coming right to the top here so this part doesn't cut out. Or you can cut that out and then just trim the paper afterwards. And then what you'll do is when you put your layers together, you will add this little die set here and run it through your machine to punch out the little holes. Okay, so that's what that piece is for, in case you hadn't figured that out already. So let me see here. I am featuring loads of her gorgeous beads. Just want to show you these really quick. These are the rondelle faceted beads from last month's release, and I did use some of these, and I am sorry for the glare. I have a new light in here and it causes a lot of glare, so I'm going to try to get these off the screen as quickly as I can. So I did use some of those, and let's see, these are from previous releases as well I had in my stash. In this pack I used some of the yellow beads, and then this one and this one I used pink beads. This has just red left, but I did use some pink from there. And then from this release I used some of all of the gorgeous jelly beads. These are, I don't know, maybe a 12 millimeter. They've got etching around the sides. Some people call them pumpkin beads, and they are in these beautiful frosted colors or jelly colors. We've got yellow, we've got this mint green, we have this blue here, pretty purple, pink, and I'm going to call this a melon color. I'm not really sure what you would call that. So those are all the beads, and I'm going to move those off to the side to get rid of that glare. Okay. So here are my projects this time around. I created 2 more dangles, and you can see, let's just talk about this one first. I'm using that gorgeous stacked book dangle with the shabby roses on it, one of the Ready-to-Bead dangles in her shop. And you can see all of the gorgeous beads on here, the caged beads with, oh, I forgot. Yeah, I think I used all of the cage beads, or pretty much all of them. So there's purples and pink, there's blue, I think there's, oh yeah, there's yellow on this one. So I may have used up the whole entire pack on these 2 dangles. But you can see I've got those gorgeous jelly beads there, and on the bottom I have some blue and clear rondelles, and I have little bead spacers for my stash in between. So pretty. And here's some of those crackle beads there. There's some tucked down in behind here as well. Just a nice variety. Love how that turned out. And then I did top it off with a little satin bow and a heart cabochon there. I do have a few little gemmies I added to the bottom here for some sparkle. And then the paper I'm using for this one is actually this pink champagne rose from Michaels, and this is a 2018 pad, and I use this for the background piece here, and then there's some solid pieces in here that I used for the layering piece. So that's that one, and I think this turned out really cute and really pretty. I love how pretty that looks. So anyway, then we've got this one here, and once again I am using the dangle display card, and this one I put a little shimmery gold bow on the top of that one. I've got some little flat back pearls in blue and yellow. So pretty. This one is featuring the adorable little cow with the sunflowers and the plaid bow on her head. Loving the glasses, loving the glasses. And on this display card, I also used the Dangle Me die cut, and it comes with the base layer, which I cut in a foam glitter. And then I cut out Dangle Me in this same blue that's in the background here. And I did pop it up on some white foam just to give some more dimension. And on this one, you can see I have the yellow cage beads. I've got the pretty jelly beads there. And on the bottom, I've got some of those faceted beads, once again, with some spacers in between. And then these blue beads and the dark ones, which are actually a dark brown, those are from my stash. And some of them I did add on some of the blue rondelles. There's some of those yellow crackle beads from a previous release. And then here's another little set of beads from my stash. I've got a dark brown solid. And then we've got these semi-clear ones here I added to the bottom. So I think that looks really, really cute on there. So I did want to point one more thing out about this tag set. So I did mention there's two ways of actually attaching your dangles to the display card. This tab here and then the hole cut. So I'm going to show you the different ways that I used it. So on this one here, you can see I actually used the two little hole cutouts. So after you stack, what I did was I stacked my first two layers and then I punched the holes in there with the die. And then I actually have 110-pound cardstock for some heft in here, as well as the pretty yellow cardstock. I glued those together, layered this on top without gluing it together so I could line up the holes, and then I ran it through my machine to cut out the holes. And you can see that the dangle is attached right there, okay? Also with this one, I did punch some holes with my hole puncher in two different places, and I put a little tie on there just to hold the dangle in place so it doesn't flop around too much. It stays very nicely. So that's one way of attaching your dangle. Then this one, what I did was I took that long flap and I folded it over and I glued it down flat like this. Okay, so you can see that right there. So that works out really well. And then on the previous ones I did and featured in earlier videos, I actually took that tab and I curled it under so that the hole is actually right here at the base of the card. Or I don't know how you want to say that, but the dangle hangs right there. And so I'm just going to kind of show you, if you can see inside, you can see where I have folded up that tab in there. So those are just different ways that you can attach your dangles to your dangle display card. They're all super cute. Loving the beads, loving the Ready-to-Bead dangles. This one I did make a little shorter. I took a few links off, and that was so I could actually display this part here without it covering too much. So that's what I have for you today. I want to thank you all for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed these projects. I am just dying to see other people's projects, and please, please, please tag me if you make any dangles, if you use the beadable dangles from the Happy Crafter shop, or even these cards. I would love to see your gorgeous projects. And don't forget to shop Happy Crafter, use my coupon code Enis10, and save yourself some money. Thanks again for stopping by. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next crafty video. See you later, crafty peeps. Bye.